Hey, all right, lesson one. Where do you find these domains for your PBN? There are lots of places that you can look. There are auction sites, there are expiring domains, there are tools that can help find them for you. Um, this is one that I prefer. It's called Register Compass, and what it does is it quickly sorts and finds domains that are expiring that you can pick up. And I'll go ahead and go to my main panel right now and just refresh this real quick. Now, some people will tell you that you shouldn't buy domains from auctions because, well, there are lots of reasons. One, people think that Google could be watching these and monitoring them. I subscribe to the theory that Google has better things to do, even though they do make examples out of bigger PBNs. But I've been buying domains like this for probably 3 or 4 years now, and after buying nearly 1,000 domains, I've never had an issue. I mean, you get a couple of sites de-index just because you buy bad domains, and that's just part of the process. You don't really check the backlink profile as thoroughly, so it's bound to happen. But by and large, this system right here is going to save you the most time and get you the most bang for your buck, if you will. I've read some other things where people have said that, people like you and me are watching this right here, and they're making notes, and they're gonna, they send ransom letters to these people months later and say, hey, I saw you bought this domain and now you're using a private blog network with it. If you don't send me this money, I'm going to tell Google on you. To that I say, who gives a shit? I mean, it's an empty threat. They would never do it, and you're not gonna have, you're gonna have privacy on these domains anyway. Chances are people have maybe sent that to me. I don't know. I don't check it. I have better things to do, and just move on. All right, let's get right into it then. All right, so for me, these are the filters I use, and um, I'll send you a link that just automatically populates all these filters because it's just based in the URL. But from left to right, for registrar, I go to GoDaddy. Sometimes I'll pop in and put Snap Names or Namejet, but you can use either one. It doesn't do Namecheap, which Namecheap is a good registrar. I move a lot of my domains to Namecheap after a year, just because their privacy um, and other fees are a lot less than GoDaddy. Plus, it's good. You want to mix this. You want to mix up your registrars. You want to mix up your Whois information. So I have multiple GoDaddy accounts. I have multiple Namecheap accounts. I use my name. I use aliases. I use girlfriends' names. I use family names. Just you want to mix it up. You don't want to have the same one. You can be a little paranoid in that regard. I still put privacy on everything, just because it eliminates a footprint. And some people will say putting privacy on there is a footprint. I don't think so. There are lots of high-end domains that have privacy on them. I mean, before I even started getting into PBNs and I was just buying domains for my own business, legit domains that I was using, I put privacy on them because I don't want people contacting me. So I think it's a normal thing, and it's worked so far. So I'm not going to deviate from what's working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? All right. So bid price, depending on what you're after, I just keep it under 500. If I'm trying to buy based on PageRank, like a PR6 or something, I would maybe put that to over 1,000. And I'll talk about PageRank here in a second. Auction expire date, you put this out as long as you want. I usually just do a day, and my VAs will have it out for maybe a few days because I just have them bid based on a formula I give them. PageRank, okay. The one thing I'll say about PageRank is this used to be the be-all, end-all metric for buying domains. That isn't really the case anymore. It's still a byproduct of some of these factors, and it's still important to a degree, but I wouldn't buy solely based on PageRank alone. If it didn't, PageRank needs to have these other factors, um, like trust flow and things like that, and I'll get into that as well. So again, PageRank, it's important to a degree, but I wouldn't really sweat it too much. I usually buy anything over PR0, so 1 and higher. All right, domain age. You want something with some age on it. Since we're kind of going off of these filters, as someone like a VA could just come in here with what you're telling them to do with these filters and say, if this, then buy at this price. So that's what I use. You can go even older than that. But I mean, you can get some really good domains that are even 2010, 2011, 2012. But for the most part, this is going to, this factor combined with the other ones, like I said, most bang for your buck, because you want some domain age on these things for sure. All right, domain authority. This is probably the most important metric. It goes hand in hand with page authority, which isn't on here, but this is usually a very similar metric. So anything greater than 14, so 15 or higher, is what you look for. And once you get like 25 plus, you're talking about a pretty decent domain. So these ones here, like 38, 48, they're pretty good. You definitely would want to keep an eye on those and see if the price makes sense. So I can look at this one already, it's already $460 for a 48 domain authority. So I mean, it's probably out of your budget. It's not probably worth, the juice isn't worth the squeeze on that one for a PDN, in my opinion. But you may think otherwise. But this is probably the more important factor to look at. Then you look at Majestic Links, and this is just the backlink profile, and we'll go into this after I finish a few other things. But basically, you want to make sure that it has some backlinks, all right? And as long as it has greater than 50, in my opinion, it's has a decent backlink profile. And then along with that is the C class of those backlinks, and that means are these coming from unique IPs on different C classes? Because if it's all coming from one C class, that means that all one domain or one IP has done these backlinks, and that's a super big red flag. Because there could be site-wide links, and then if that one backlink profile goes away, there goes all your backlinks. So you never want to do that. You want to at least have 19 or greater, or 20 or greater, around that as far as backlinks. And again, these are just metrics I've played around with over the years, and I've kind of stuck with this formula. So feel free to deviate a little bit, but for the most part, this is kind of good rule set to go by. And then you have Majestic Citation Flow and Trust Flow. Trust Flow being the more important of the two, and these are usually pretty similar. Trust Flow is basically built based on the backlinks you have from websites in the top Majestic million. So quality backlinks is what this metric is all about. And this is a pretty important metric to look at. Again, 15 plus, and you're pretty good here. 25 or higher, and you got a pretty decent domain. Citation flow. Sometimes you'll see this is lopsided, but for the most part, it's usually similar. But if there are cases where citation flow is huge and Majestic, and then trust flow is not so big, it could mean that site was spammed. It's not always the case, and it may not even be a problem, because some of my better sites have lopsided citation flow. Even though it has high trust flow, the citation flow is a lot higher because people try to spam me out and do things to me. But since I'm an authority site, on a lot of them, you can't really do that. And then you want to make sure it's indexed. So make sure you got, I could probably actually change that to a 0, because that would mean that as long as it's a 1, that it would go. Let's see, go back here. Yeah, so sometimes it's just, it's possible that just the root domain is the only thing indexed, and that still could be a good deal. So I wouldn't rule that out. So you want to make sure it at least has one indexed, okay? And then going to all right, that's the last metric we really care about. You can look at the other things if you want. DMOZ if it's listed. You can see here if it's got, keyword that was trying to be optimized for, which you kind of want to stay away from, really. Let's look at a backlink profile for one of these. So let's pick, let's see, look at this one here. Let's look at the trust flow. And yeah, we'll go ahead and pick on this profile. Click on this profile. And this kind of just reiterates what we just looked at, trust flow and citation flow. And then you can see all the other factors. So it's got all these backlinks from these different domains and these unique IPs. Let's continue. All right, this is the main thing I'll look at really right now, is the anchor text profile. So you typically want to see something with more of the naked URL as the main one versus keyword anchor text. If it's other, that's okay. So this other here for 28%, that's pretty normal. This right here for the brand name, that's pretty normal. These are good brand name links here. It's 11%. Is which one's that? That's fine. The one that has me concerned is this 19% and this 37% of just complete gibberish, Chinese lettering. So basically what I'm doing right here is I'm trying to look for an unnatural link profile. If someone's basically tried to optimize for a specific anchor text and it's got a ton of backlinks with just one anchor text link or a couple, that's a red flag that they were trying to. I mean, this could have been a spam deal right here. They could have tried to spam this guy out. Um, it's possible. I mean, without really getting into the backlinks and looking at who's referring what. I probably wouldn't buy this though, just because that worries me a little bit. Let me go to another one. Let's try this first one here. All right, good trust flow on this one, and other anchor text is 49%. That's pretty normal. 25 years of baseball. All right, so this is one where again they were trying to optimize for a keyword. It's a little high. It's pretty disproportionate to what you want to look at. All right, let's look at another one. Let's click on this one here. Okay, so this one looks pretty. This is a good one to look at. So other anchor text makes up the majority. You can see it's got some of the main URL as the backlink, or excuse me, as the anchor text, and it's got a little bit for Ambien, where it could be natural. It's got some just website and page. These are very natural looking things. More info. Click here. So yeah, this is kind of the type of link profile you want to look for. Something like this would be a good candidate for purchasing. So after you look at all these metrics and you're ready to buy, you can come over here and click on the little I and just go to place bid. And I'll open up GoDaddy Auctions, and you just go ahead and put your bid in here, and put your high bid in, and let it go. So I pretty much just give those directions to my VA, and he just sits in here, every day for the most part, and we snatch up domains, left and right, and just add to our network. And if you go off these filters, and I'm going to include a link under this video, so underneath this video you should see a link for Register Compass, and you can grab all the filters that I use as well and just use them for your own domain needs. Alright, hope you found this video helpful. In the next video I'm going to be going over, let's see, what am I doing? I'm going over, okay, hosting the domains and where to do that. And I already kind of alluded to a little bit about the different whois and different registrars. And now we're going to talk about hosting and the whole thing about unique C-class IPs with regard to hosting and SEO hosting and the do's and don'ts. All right, thanks for watching.